Yeah, my dad don't care nothing about me. He got me out here homeless. Jamie Foxx, does everybody know him? Yeah, he got me out here like real down bad. And then trying to deny me. That's the crazy part. And don't care nothing about my mama. I don't understand, dude. Like, y'all be caught up in all these celebrities. These celebs ain't what you think they are. These celebrities ain't what you think they are. Like, real talk. Like, dude got me out here. I'm living in my car, man. I've been living in my car for 2 years. Trying to make it. I'm not an actor like my dad. I'm not on TV like him. I'm trying to, I got problems of my own, and I got kids of my own. I don't have no help with nothing. And I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth and was left. So I'm just not learning how to get out the mud for myself. I can't depend on him. I cannot. I can't depend on him. Y'all stop looking up to these celebrities. Y'all gotta stop. These celebrities ain't nothing. These famous people you see, you just making them more richer. Whatever you watching on TV, if you poor, you shouldn't be having time to be watching TV making other people richer. These people don't even care about their own family. You understand? They don't. Yeah. I ain't been in the spotlight. Everybody been wondering around, like trying to figure out where I'm at and what I'm doing. You see what I'm doing? I'm living in my car. And I'm sick. It's the wintertime. I have nowhere to stay. I can't call him. But you think he a good person. From the TV shows you used to watch back in the day with your mama. These people ain't what you think they are. This coming out of my mouth. This coming out of his son's mouth. You understand that? I want y'all to remember. Looks can be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving. Don't forget. Looks can be deceiving. And I don't care if this go all across the internet. I don't care if this go viral over the whole world. I don't care. These celebrities don't care nothing about their family, y'all. They selfish. They do a lot of weird things. I'm gonna let it be known. I'm finna let it be known. I don't care if I gotta go on do interviews about it. I'm gonna let it be known. Forget these celebrities, dog. They so selfish. They don't get back to nobody. Who cares about celebs anymore? Man, Jamie got his own son out here. As y'all know him, Jamie Foxx got his own son out here, homeless. Yeah, I ain't talked to my dad in 3 years. 3. I ain't supposed to be living in no car. I'm supposed to have something in the bank account. I was born with a silver spoon, man. It's crazy, man. Real talk. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Like I was saying, I ain't seen my dad in 3 years. He never supported my dream. I always too busy. When I come up with ideas, he never. We went and took pictures at the red carpet. That's my last time seeing him. It been like 3 years, if I can remember.
Yo, that's crazy. I just want to go back to the beginning right here because I want you guys to hear this real quick. This is crazy. It's kind of telltale the way he starts it off, and then we're gonna really deal with the heart of the matter.
Yeah, my dad don't care nothing about me. He got me out here homeless. Jamie Foxx, does everybody know him? Yeah, he got me out here like real down bad. And then trying to deny me. That's the crazy part. And don't care nothing about my mama.
Already, is Jamie Foxx got me out here sleeping in my car like there's some type of action that Jamie Foxx is taking to keep this man from achieving his dreams. This is crazy. And then a few sentences later, he says that he don't care nothing about my mama. Now, obviously, you're from a relationship that did not last with Jamie Foxx, and I'm sure you got to get how life works by now. Okay, he doesn't have to care about your mother. You understand? The fact that you were born a silver spoon shows that he did not forsake his parental obligation, and the fact that you sitting here trying to be in grown-ups' business, he didn't even care about my mother, shows that you're not even here for you, man. You're saying you're homeless and you need help, right? Why are you wanting us to know about how he feels about your mother? So it's like you want to slam him at the same time. But we're going to deal with the heart of the matter. Let's get into it. All right, the first thing I'm going to call out is the victim mentality and a lack of accountability, okay? The first thing I noticed in his speech is a complete lack of responsibility, okay? Accountability. He says, I'm living in my car. I've been living in my car for two or 3 years. I've got problems of my own. I've got children on my own, and I don't get help with nothing. I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I was left. I'm just now learning to fend for myself or get it out the mud for myself. This tells us that he believes that he's entitled to his father's provisions. His father. He doesn't take ownership for any of his own behaviors or responsibilities, right? As a man. Instead, he blames Jamie Foxx. Okay, Jamie should still be providing for him. Now, the key problem with this, or the key contradiction is, he talks about being born with a silver spoon. Now, this means he had advantages that most people didn't. Now he's in a state of lack. But he doesn't say how he lost the advantages, right? But instead of asking, what can I do differently? What could I have done differently? His problem is, why won't dad fix it for me? Right? He states he's just now learning to get money for himself. Right? But up until now, he's dependent on his dad and others. Now, this is rather than building his own financial life, right? But if you now know how to get money for yourself, why are you here complaining and wasting time? The moment you become aware, you are no longer ignorant. So why still sit in the car and whine, right? So check this out. This is actually the opposite of accountability, okay? They're not acknowledging their role in the circumstance. They believe only external factors are the cause. And that brings me to part 2. Resentment towards his father, okay? And wealthy people overall, okay? He says, these celebrities are not who they say they are, right? Like all celebrities. Y'all are making these people richer, trying to discourage us from supporting or listening to them, right? These famous people don't care about their own families. Anecdotal. Forget these celebrities. They're so selfish, right? If you're poor, you shouldn't even be watching them. I'm supposed to have something in my bank account. See, clear entitlement. He believes because he's born into money that he should still be being spoon-fed throughout the duration of his life. So he criticizes all celebrities because his celebrity father is not doing everything for him right now. He's not reaping the benefits of it, so let's bash everybody. It's misdirected blame. The truth is, Jamie Foxx built his wealth on his own. His wealth is his, not his son's. If his son has been given resources in the past, his son should have been responsible for managing those resources. If you're born with a silver spoon, what did you learn? So his anger towards celebrities in general is really misdirected, okay? He feels abandoned, but he won't deal with that. He deals with it externally instead of internally with his father, which shows underdevelopment issues, okay? And here we go. Emotional manipulation, public shaming tactics, right? So Jamie got his own son out here sleeping homeless. He wants Jamie to stop this public shaming by doing something, right? I can't call him. So now he can't reach out to Jamie, right? He's never supported me, right? Okay. We took pictures of the red car. I haven't saw him since. Rather than seeking direct conversation with him, with his own father, he's online making a public spectacle. This shows that he's attempting to destroy the guy's reputation. Okay, she wants to shame him into taking action. Okay, the key question is this: why make the video? Why not call him? It's emotional manipulation. The goal is not to reconcile. It's only to control through guilt. Often when you try to call these people after, they won't answer. And if you try to reach out to them beforehand and stop it from happening, they're going to do it anyway. They want something from you, and they're going to leverage whatever they can to get it. They'll weaponize these devices. So this shows that he is not self-sufficient. He said, I cannot depend on my dad. I'm just now learning how to get it out the mud for myself. I'm not supposed to be living in no car. I'm supposed to have something in the bank. He doesn't know that requires action, okay? There's no such thing as it's just money jumping in your bank. I can tell he genuinely wants to be independent, but he doesn't understand how, and he's mad at his father for not supporting him. If you're independent and you say you're standing on independence, saying I can't depend on my father shows you still trying to. So if you're a dependent, you wouldn't even be thinking about that. So you're still mentally dependent, even though you're claiming that you're not. It's bold proclamations. You want to do better, but until you actually put the work in, you haven't. You want to instantly get this, but it doesn't work that way. It takes discipline. And so this shows another level of underdevelopment. The bigger psychological issue is this. His sense of entitlement to wealth as a grown man, even with his own children, shows a childlike dependency still on his father. Okay? So he still is on a platform trying to leverage resources out of his father when he has children who are depending on him. This is not direct problem solving. It's just complaining from a car. It's blame shifting. Instead of focusing on how you're going to better a situation, you actually just projecting all the blame onto your father and celebrities. But the truth is, a father's responsibility is to raise his child to be disciplined. So he is supposed to do that. But at the same time, no one is entitled to a father's wealth, not even his son, okay? His choices led him there, not his father. Him talking to the world instead of his family member to resolve it is showing that he's not trying to resolve it either. It's the opposite. The son has to realize this. You're in a car claiming you're homeless and you can't do anything about it. You said your father gave you a silver spoon. And now, in your adult age, you're still longing for him to take care of you, but you have your own children. Okay. Your children are small. They weren't born with a silver spoon, like your daddy had you born with. They're needing you. You're thinking you're needing your father. If he's a bad father, what are you? Really think about this. So where can we build on this, okay? We got to focus on Jamie as well. So I wrote a book called The Traditional Home as We Know It is a Broken Home. In it, I talk about a lot of these things. It explains Little Romeo, 50 Cent's son, and even now Jamie Foxx's son, okay? It shows how when the parent spoils the child, they lack survival skills. They lack those instincts to become utilitarians. And they often spend their lives lacking. See, modern parenting skills often shields children from those natural instincts to survive, okay? So they don't really get to learn through necessity and lack. And so this explains how that phenomenon works. He said, I'm born with a silver spoon in my mouth, okay? And I was left. I'm just now learning to fend for myself, get money for myself. What does he say? I'm not supposed to be living in no car, right? I should have money in the bank, right? All this shows that he has an expectation for things to get people to give him things rather than being dependent. The problem is, in the wild, the baby bird has to be kicked from their nest to learn how to fly. So if the bird never develops those skills to fly and hunt, they're doomed for failure. Okay, so Jamie Foxx, by giving his son too much, he actually crippled his son to his survival instincts. So he's trying to survive on his own for 3 years and it still isn't clicking. The greater parent that you are in terms of material things, the less chances your child will survive on their own because they'll be raised up in dependency. So keep this in mind. Number 2, the lack of emotional connection towards you. He sees you as utility, not family. He talks about how you're working and how you're not with him. I mean, maybe you're working and you're not with him, but you can tell that he lacks emotional connection, right? You not being in his life will definitely have psychological issues. It seems like you're not claiming him, all that, okay? He never mentions missing you. He don't talk about time spent, lesson learned, or shared experiences or anything like that. He doesn't seem to display any anger, any respect for you at all. So he doesn't even seem to really truly know you. To me, that's a terrible life, to have a father who gives to you but won't be with you. You understand? He talks about how he didn't talk to you in a while. The last time he was with you was on the red carpet. But he's not sitting here talking about how much he wants to talk with you and longs for your leadership. You understand? He doesn't want a father. He wants a provider. Okay? I talk about how you raise your child on money. They don't love you. They love you what you can do for them. Jamie Foxx, like he thought he was being the greatest father by giving his son luxury and comfortability. But he actually failed to create a genuine bond with his child. Now, instead of appreciating Jamie, he now resents him. He never taught him to stand on his own. When you try to buy your child's love, your child will not see you. They will only see what you provide. The more you give, the more they'll feel entitled. The moment you stop, they will resent you. Jamie Foxx, he failed to train him up in the way that he should go. In Proverbs 22:6, it says, raise up a child in the way that they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. See, Jamie, he disregarded his son not by withholding love, but by withholding discipline and structure. So you can see he thinks like a modern woman. He doesn't even think like a real man. Okay? Had Jamie Foxx raised his son differently, he may very well be sufficient. He may not see his father as utility, and he may see his father as a leader, someone who was wise. Okay? He would not be complaining. He'd likely be standing on his own 2 feet. So when you raise your child, struggle, responsibility is needed. The lack of that makes them weaker. Okay? It's sad that if you raise a family and give them your all, you often don't get a family in the end. Okay? If you give them everything, you often get nothing. Discipline, structure, time. Okay? Now, Jamie, I'm going to say this to you. You shouldn't give him a dime right now. Okay? If this is your real son, you shouldn't give him a dime. No man or father should have to tolerate this type of disrespect. Okay? Or manipulative tactics. Okay? If you want to truly help him, you got to put a plan into place. Okay? Let him earn his way back. Give him an opportunity to work for you. Okay? Not just handouts. Teach him lessons that he should have learned earlier, that you should have taught him earlier. In my book, I talk about this. The more you let your child manipulate you, the more that they would never respect you. Okay? If you truly love your child, you must teach them to survive without you. My final reality check is this. The struggle should have taught him something, okay? He's been on his own for 3 years. But what did you learn? You was born with a silver spoon. And I do understand it. But there are men out here who didn't get fathers or mothers, and they still went far. Stop making excuses, young man. Take action. It shows that you actually haven't adjusted, okay? You haven't developed the skills to survive. And you believe you're entitled to your father's money. And that's why your argument falls apart. It's countless people who grew up without fathers, mothers, they're orphans, single mothers, homeless youth who managed to make something different of themselves. Okay? But you sit here as a grown man still complaining about your father. Struggle is not an excuse to fail, man. It's a reason to fight. Those who want to survive will. And those who expect others to do it for them will not. When you refuse to fail, when you refuse to go hungry, you will fight for your survival, bro. And you're a father now too. Now here's the biggest irony, okay? You're angry your father isn't providing for you, but you're not providing for your own children. How can you be angry at your father for not providing for you when you can't provide for your own children right now? This is the real issue. You've never learned to be a man. No sacrifice, accountability, or responsibility. That's why his rent falls completely flat. A man who is still dependent on his father fails his own children. If you cannot lead your children, you can't lead others. If you can't resource for yourself, you cannot resource for others. And if you are still waiting for your father, your children's father will never show up. Okay? Jamie Foxx's problem was not in abandoning his child. It was in not teaching him structure and discipline. It was in trying to give him everything. Now, again, These situations happen in life. This sounds like, if it is his child, that it's a mother that he probably didn't have a relationship with long term, and he just tried to cooperate with her the best he could. But it sounds like he did pretty good by the child financially. And he's grown now. He's not owed any of those things anymore. Jamie Foxx's duty is done. And so obviously Jamie hasn't been in his life to teach him these things. But this is why I always want to say to men, you know, we can give our life, our resources to our children, but if we don't give them structure and time, there's an imbalance here, and you will not get a legacy from that. You're going to get a broken home. Your child will resent you for the time that you didn't give, for the things you didn't teach. And this is even if they were provided for. Little Romeo, 50 Cent son, these things prove it, family. Master P's son, 50 Cent son, this proves it, okay? So we're seeing a lot of this online. We truly are. And I think as children, maybe even as adults, we've tried to think about what's the best way to raise children, give them the world. And that born with the silver spoon thing sounds good. Being born in lack sounds horrible, but there are benefits to both. There are struggles to both. And I always want to say this, when we use excuses, it really just gets in the way, because the truth be told, it's what you're made of, man. It's what you're made of. Okay, if you a loser, if you got loser mentality, I don't care if you were born with a silver spoon. And if you got winner mentality, I don't care if you an orphan. You won't let nobody defeat you. We too many times try to blame our surrounding things in our environment, but we should start to ask, who am I? There's a quote, if you put a potato in boiling water, it softens. If you put an egg in boiling water, it hardens. It's not the environment, it's what you're made of. Do you understand? Young man, the only thing that gets you what you want in life is action and doing. You got to plan, and you got to be diligent to fulfilling it every single day. Discipline. And when you begin to do that, your life will begin to manifest around you. Your father, Jamie, he can act, sing. He's actually one of my favorite people in terms of talent. I don't think there's many more people more talented than him. You might could argue Chris Brown or Eddie Murphy because they're multi-talented. But in my opinion, Jamie Foxx is up there. You don't have any talents or gifts? Now, you said earlier you can't act, right? But acting can be learned. I mean, you train that muscle until it gets strong. Everything ain't gonna just drop in your lap, not even talents and gifts. So you're at fault for this, believe it or not. Because while you're saying that your father hasn't been there for you likely to provide discipline and structure, you've got to witness him. You got to see him in action. And why are you not following suit? Yo, look, when those young lions go out with their father lion, they copying everything he do. When he pounce, they pounce. When he kneel down and squat down and get low, they do the same thing. They're learning from him. Take a page from Jamie Foxx's book and be about that action, bro. Peace, y'all.